So hardly had I effectively settled into my new role as head of lifestyle and entertainment at Vision Group. Of course, the pandemic happens, and we all know what happened at that time. Everybody has their own story, individually, how they maneuvered and navigated that period. For me, the way generally life slowed down at that time, it also offered me a window of opportunity to reflect how far I have come, living a public life as a famous person, a popular person, whatever you want to call it. And it actually finally hit me that after 20 years, I had achieved something, but it seemed hollow. And having realized that it felt hollow at that time, a new thought hit me, and that was a realization that I wanted to, I had to redefine, my next chapter of life, and that was now a refined sense of purpose. So I had, learned my lessons as a human being over that 20-year period in the industry, but finally I have an answer over what I want, which is purpose, and for me, that is where I actually officially acknowledge maturity, the emotional intelligence, growth. I'm no longer that kid. I'm no longer basically excited by anything that comes with fame, and I detested fame, with a passion. I disliked fame at that particular moment. But also I found myself in a very awkward situation where my new direction, or the trajectory I wanted to take next was now was in conflict with some skeletons in the closet, which were ghosts from the old famous DJ Bush Baby. Very, very horrible financial mismanagement. For example, I found myself caught up in so many loans because over the years it was very expensive to fund the kind of lifestyle I had settled for, I had chosen. Situations where I owed money to over 2-3 loan sharks, 2-3 banks, and how I ended up in that maze of financial crisis was, I thought by borrowing from loan shark A to pay bank A, would make the problem go away, or by borrowing from bank B to offset loan shark B would also make that go away. Now, faced with ghosts from the past, skeletons from my closet, as a result of my past lifestyle, which was fame, it's now in contention. It's in conflict with my new way of life, which is growth, understanding where I want to go, but still not very clear. So I had a very deep conversation with my wife about what I was going through, what was my mental state, my emotional state at that time. Of course, the least or the most she can do is I encourage you to fight on, face what's facing you, go out there, go get it, go be bold and all that. But again, you're a human being at the end of the day. You have a tipping point. I found myself now contemplating so many things. Things like an attempt on my own life, specifically suicide. Things in hindsight, I didn't know when I was starting out. The sort of life or career path I had taken would actually one day lead me to question my very existence, and make me conjure up thoughts of harming myself, considering consuming things like rat poison, and then it doesn't work. Extreme scenarios like slitting your throat, and then you bleed, and then you find yourself in hospital, and then you're alive again, it doesn't work. I remember at some point I had an office that was situated on a very high-rise building, a very high floor, and I contemplated actually taking the plunge, jumping with the hope that I need to I need to close this chapter, I need to stop this chapter, and I would actually measure that with a mineral water bottle. I would drop it from the balcony of my office, and I would actually time how long it would take for that bottle to, you know, drop from the balcony and up to the point when it hits the ground. And I'll probably it was very confusing, very confusing. You have your past haunting you, but you're very convinced that, you know, you finally you have a well articulated approach to life, but it's in the current and the present are in conflict with the past. But there's a lot, just a lot to deal with. Then all of a sudden, something that altered my life to date happens.